We'll just go ahead and start it off with questions for Coach Kelsey. We've got mics around the room. We'll try and get them to everybody. Russ, go ahead and start us off.
Pat, your team has gotten off some really good starts in several of your recent games. What do you think's gone into that? And have you been pleased with the way they played with the lead after they got the lead?
Yeah, getting off to a good start is important. We don't do anything different. We break the game down into 10 4-minute segments, and we say each segment at 0-0. And but it's always good to get off to a good start. The other night, after watching the tape, Virginia Tech made some really tough shots several times when we had a double-digit lead, and just continued to gut it out and to fight, and made some big shots to allow the lead to go to 5 instead of, we had a couple open looks that could have taken it to 13, 14. But listen, every road game, every conference game is really hard. Believe it or not, that other coach wants to win, and they got good players too, and they're not just going to lay down, especially now that we're a ranked opponent going into, their venue. We have a target on our back, so we're going to get everybody's best shot, and it's the way it should be.
Jody, then Jesse.
Pat, you could go down your roster and talk about what guys have brought to this team this year, what they've done. How much do you need a guy like Javon, who does a lot of the little things, or grimy, kind of gritty things that you do? Every team needs someone like that, don't they?
Yeah, I like to think we have a team full of those type of guys. Javon is very versatile. He can play a lot of different positions, and by play a lot of different positions, I mean he can guard a lot of positions. People say you are what you can guard, and he can guard 1 through 5 at times for us. He's extremely versatile from an offensive standpoint because he's a matchup problem with smaller defenders in the post. He gives bigger defenders problems by being able to spread them out on the floor, make shots, take them off the dribble. He's really expanded his game in a lot of ways. This year we've pushed him to be a ball screen creator at times as well, which are kind of inverted ball screens, which can be difficult to defend. And he's just Swiss Army knife. Sometimes I think people take that as, he's a utility player. He's the farthest thing from that. He's an all-conference performer in my mind.
Pat, obviously a year ago, this fan base was just hoping and dreaming of having an opportunity to watch the team play in March. Now, all of a sudden, as we enter the month of March, they're fired up. You created an opportunity for this team to possibly make a deep run. I guess just looking back at over the last 12 months, how special has this been to kind of reinvigorate this fan base and give them something to look forward to as we enter this glorious month?
Yeah, I don't. Well, let me answer that a couple ways. You talk about a run, you talk about March, you talk about all this. We're not there yet. Okay, we're not there yet. So in terms of how you're asking me and how our team is approaching our day-to-day business, it's the task at hand, which is a really, really tough game tomorrow against Pitt with one of the best backcourts in our entire conference. Okay, that's our sole focus. But you ask about the excitement in town, and that's a great thing. It's an awesome thing. The vibe, the energy, the excitement. Obviously, you guys all know this, and everybody knows this, but it's as proud and as passionate of a fan base as there is in the country. So to feel that around town is awesome. It's great for our city. It's great for our basketball program. It's great for fundraising. It's great for admissions. Just great for the heartbeat and the vibe of our city overall. So that's an awesome thing, the byproduct of how we've competed and how we've played this year. But we don't give any of that stuff the first thought, and we never will. It's Pitt and all Pitt.
With it being March, you guys have been a team that's enjoyed some large margin victories throughout the last few weeks, but getting pushed at Virginia Tech as you are entering or getting close to the postseason, how valuable can a game like that, where you do get pushed to the end, be as your team progresses?
Yeah, I think every situation that you face throughout a game is a learning experience, and to have those opportunities down the stretch against Virginia Tech, to have our guys in those situations is definitely a positive.
Hey, Pat, I'm just wondering, I know coaches always want the calls to be right. but from a game flow, game duration perspective, are we slowing down games too much at the end, in your opinion?
Phew. Are you talking about like reviews and stuff like that?
Yes, exactly, yeah, replay review.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't given it a lot of thought. Just asking that question put me on the spot with it. I don't know. I mean, I'm a big believer in get it right. Get it right. And I think everybody wants that. They want to get the call right. The officials want that. The fans want that. The players want that. The coaches want that. In a perfect world, it's the process is fast and it doesn't delay the game. It doesn't take the air out of the arena. It doesn't take the sweat off the players' bodies. And I think every major sport in the world right now, in America for sure, is dealing with that more because baseball does it now. Obviously, football's done it for a long, long time. Basketball has gotten into replay review a lot more here over the last 5, 6, 7 years. But I think it's good that they can do it so that they can get the call right. The faster they can do it, the better. I don't feel like it's any slower now. I don't think so. Maybe it's because we haven't had a lot of review situations. And, so I can't really comment on that because I haven't given it a lot of thought.
Pat, throughout the course of the season, I think this has evolved a little bit, but right now it feels like your kids are, every time they take the court, they want to be the most aggressive team out there. The first to hit to somebody, you know what I mean, to get after it a little bit. Have you seen that evolve with this group throughout the course of the season? You guys may have always preached it at the beginning, but it seems like it's really starting to take the heat the last couple months.
I mean, we preach it every single day, every single second. You always want to be the hardest playing team. You want to always be the team that makes the hustle plays, that hits first, that dives on the loose balls, gets the 50-50 balls. Those effort plays, I think, hopefully define our on-court culture as much as anything. So it has always been an emphasis. And we have tough guys. It's sometimes, and not sometimes, I think, you really have to identify grit and toughness in the recruiting process, whether it's in the transfer portal and recruiting, because you want those type of guys, or I want those type of guys in my locker room and in my lineup and on the floor for us all the time.
Yeah, since you all got that close win at Pitt back in January, they've lost 8 of their last 12. You've always talked about just how much of talent they have. And I'm wondering, as you're going and scouting them, over the last few weeks, what have you seen as they continue to kind of drop games and keep slipping down the conference standings?
I see a very, very, very dangerous team. I see a team that scares the crap out of me. I see a team that we got to be on it in every facet of our defensive system. I see a team that we got to execute our stuff because they are athletic, they're well coached, and they're tough. Like, I don't pay attention to what anybody's record is. I watch them game in and game out, and I think about what are the things that we need to do to win this game. And I see one of the most talented teams in our conference. We got to be on it.
Can I just ask a follow-up? But as you're watching the game, you're going to see that as you're scouting, the losses keep piling up. Are there things that you see as sticking out to you? Maybe things that they were doing differently prior to the game you'll had against them in January. Kind of like any sort of weaknesses or things that have kind of
we have weaknesses, they have weaknesses, you have weaknesses, Duke has weaknesses, the Cavs have weaknesses, and all those teams I just mentioned have strengths as well. Winning Division I games is hard, right? Jeff's a really good coach. Pitt is talented as heck. I could go all the way down the laundry list of things that they do really well and the things that maybe we could exploit. Jeff's looking at our team doing the same exact thing, and I'm sure in his press conference he's not going to talk about all the things that he thinks he can exploit us on, because I'm going to watch that press conference. So I'm going to be a little bit careful about what I tell you. But I know one thing, they're dangerous, right? We need a big-time atmosphere here tomorrow, and I hear place, I know ticket sales have gone really, really well. I hope the Yum Center is as loud and as rocking as it's been all year long, and it's been a great atmosphere and a great advantage for us, and we need them tomorrow more than ever against a really, really, really dangerous Pitt team.
Pat, you've been adamant all year about how much of an analytics guy you are, advanced statistics. embracing that. Non-steal turnover percentage, is that the best indicator you think of your guys' team defense as a whole, not just focusing on one guy as an on-ball defender, but being able to force turnovers without always having to play aggressive and force steals?
Yeah, I mean, I think creating turnovers is something we do well. It's kind of in the DNA of a lot of the guys on our roster. They have the ability to affect the ball, touch the ball. But I think 5 guys working in concert, we always say when we're playing as hard as we need to play defensively, there's 2 other defenders on the floor. It's not 5, it's 7. And the 6th is our voice and the 7th is our activity. Right, your voice defensively gives you the cliff notes. It gives you a head start. It allows you to stay ahead of the game. And we got a team full of guys that communicate on the floor, and they play really, really hard as well.
Jody, you next.
Follow up on, we were talking about the fan and the atmosphere. They're doing a strike out tomorrow. Do you, I guess, do you have to coordinate your wardrobe with
Yeah,
where you're
so I guess, Tommy Popovac, who played for me at Winthrop, who's, what's Tommy's title? He's just creative.
Yeah, director.
He's Walt Disney. He's like the Wizard of Oz. He can like make a video pop out of air and graphic design, and he's the gear guy, and he's way cooler than I am. So he sends us a thing the night before the game or a couple days before the game, what the staff outfit is, right? And I forget who was, somebody on our staff came up with the idea of, because we usually all wear the exact same thing, so I think we're going to go red, black, red, black, red, black.
Nice.
It was not my idea, but I'm pointing to the passer, whoever thought of it. So it's going to be cool. I think it's awesome. It's one of those things we need. I'm a Bengals fan, and they do a stripe out, and they send the seat sections out, and you got to wear orange and you got to wear black, and like Bengals fans respond to that, and it's black and it's orange and it's sick. So I know word gets around quick in Cardinal land. So if anybody coming to the game, text them and remind them, check their section, wear their shirt color. I'll probably mess it up and wear the opposite one and mess up the stripes on the bench. But it's going to be awesome, and we need a big-time atmosphere tomorrow. So we'll see everybody at the Young.
Yeah, Pat, it's no secret that Rain hadn't been himself shooting the last couple of games. Do you attribute some of that to the lingering effects of the illness he had, and is he okay now?
No excuses, no explanations. We're not an excuse program. So Rain, be the first to tell you. He's got one of the greatest short memories I've ever seen in my life in sports. Like whether he's made 100 in a row or missed 100 in a row, like he doesn't change his expression. He doesn't blink an eye. It's like, give me that ball. If I'm off the bus and it's leather and it's in my hands, it's going up.
Hey, Coach, what message would you give the younger version of you as a coach, like when you first got into becoming a head coach? What would Pat Kelsey now say to that version of Pat Kelsey?
I've said this before. I think I said at my press conference, I think a quote I gave you was Francis Davis, the civil rights leader, said, "Be who you is and not who you ain't, because if you ain't who you is who you ain't." And I think I quoted Billy Shakespeare, as Skip Prosser used to say, is, "To thine own self be true." Just be yourself. That'd probably be the best advice. And as my mom always says, dive on the loose ones.
Anything else for Coach Kelsey? All right, thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you.